If you are thinking about selling your home in Hebron, Connecticut, there are 5 mistakes that I see homeowners make over and over again, and some of them can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes that Hebron home sellers make and how to avoid them. See, Hebron is a unique real estate market. Homes here often sit on acreage. Many properties have well and septic systems, and inventory is much lower than a number of the larger suburban markets. And because of that, selling here requires a slightly different strategy. So let's start with mistake number 1. Mistake number 1, overpricing your home. Often sellers think, let's start high and see what happens. And here's the flaw within that. Buyers in Hebron watch the market closely. See, in Hebron, there are only 8 houses currently listed for sale in February 2026, and median days on market is at 7. So buyers know that homes here sell fast, and if a home sits on the market too long, it becomes stale. And buyers start to think, there must be something wrong with it. And then they never go see that home, even if it's perfect. That's why your first week on market is when most of the buyers are going to see the property. So overpricing can lead to fewer showings, which can lead to price reductions, which can ultimately mean selling your house for less. And when you do get an offer, it means you're likely only getting one offer. And now you're trying to squeeze that lemon to get the most you can out of that one offer. And no one's competing against each other. You just have one buyer, and you're trying to get the best deal from them, and they're trying to get the best deal from you. So the goal should not be to price it high. The goal should be to price it strategically and let the market pull it up. Mistake number 2, using the wrong comparable sales. See, not all comps are equal in Hebron. If you take the same house on 1 acre versus 5 acres, much different outcome. If you take the same house and one is updated and one is outdated in the original condition, much different outcome. If you get one home that just has the house, the other one has a large detached garages or barns or outbuildings, again, different outcome. Or if we're around Amston Lake, proximity to the lake is also going to play a big role on the outcome. So here's an example. You get 2 houses. They're both 2,500 square feet. One sits on 1 acre, one sits on 5 acre. The value can be significantly different. So what I like to do is I use comparable sales, ideally in the last 3 months. Sometimes because of lack of inventory, you got to go 6 months. I try to find houses that are same style, meaning a Cape Cod for a Cape Cod, a colonial for a colonial. Ideally built within the same time frame. A similar condition with a similar amount of upgrades on a similar size piece of land in the similar part of town. Now, that's not always possible, which is why you then have to take the comps that you have and make the necessary adjustments accordingly to make them as similar as possible. Mistake number 3, not preparing the home before listing. See, many sellers, once they decide they're going to sell, they go, let's rush and get it to market as soon as possible. But presentation is almost everything when you're selling your home. Rushing it can lead to cluttered rooms, unfinished projects, outdated paint colors, and depending on the agent you choose, poor photography. I cannot stress this enough. Buyers form opinions about a house extremely quickly online, and if we don't grab their attention in the first 5 photos, it's just like a Tinder date. They're going to swipe left and move on to the next. So we need to catch their interest in the first 5 pictures online. Otherwise, they're not going to show up at the door, and they're not going to see it in person. So simply preparing the home makes a huge difference. We're talking decluttering, cleaning, making minor repairs, some fresh paint and some touch-up, and always, always, always professional photos with great lighting. And then from there, it also helps if you add on professional video, a Zillow showcase listing, and additional marketing mediums. Mistake number 4, ignoring infrastructure. This is a big Hebron-specific mistake. See, buyers here worry about the age of the septic system, how well the well functions, how old's the furnace, how old's the boiler, how old's the roof. Many buyers expect inspections to reveal these things, and when they walk through the house with a good agent, that buyer's agent is going to be pointing those things out to them. So Hebron buyers are paying attention not just to the kitchen and the bathroom, but also to the infrastructure of the home. So before listing, we're going to want to look at the septic system, the heating system, and the roof. We're going to want to address any known issues in advance, and that's going to help build buyer confidence in your house. And that's a conversation we're always going to have about what your options are and the cost in preparing your home to list and what the trade-offs are. Now, mistake number 5 is trying to time the market perfectly. Many sellers wait for that perfect moment, but in reality, market conditions can change at any time. Anything can happen with interest rates, geopolitical conditions, possible wars. All of that stuff can have an impact on the market, and you never know when it's coming or when it's going to happen. And supply and demand within that market can also shift so quickly depending on all of those other economic factors. So when we work with sellers to list their home, do we look at when houses are more likely to get more interest and sell for a higher price? Yes, that is always part of the conversation. But the main thing we're going to focus on is, what is your timeline? What are your financial goals? And then we're going to start to structure the process around that, because that is what is more important. And getting your home prepared and presented the right way within a time frame that works for you is going to have a much greater impact on the overall sale price of your home than trying to time the market perfectly. Now, one bonus tip is that many Hebron sellers underestimate how important the strategy is when planning, and especially when planning on buying and selling at the same time. Now, I have an entire video on this topic. I will link to it below. But structuring whether you buy first, sell first, how you utilize Hubbard contingencies, rent backs, bridge loans, all the other options available to you, they're very complicated. And if you're working with someone experienced, or if you're not working with someone experienced in that, you can get yourself into a tricky situation. So if that's something you're looking to do, check out that the video below. I think that'll be very helpful. And if you're thinking about selling your home in Hebron, the best first step is understanding the value of what your home might realistically sell for in today's market. And the second step is to talk to someone to develop a strategy around how and when you're going to list, a timeline for getting the house prepared, and hitting the market strategically, presenting the house to generate buzz, to generate multiple offers, a quick sale, and competition. So if you're considering selling in Hebron or towns like Marlborough, East Hampton, Colchester, feel free to reach out. I am always happy to help walk you through the current market and help you plan your next move. Now, hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. If you did find this helpful, please smash that like button, share this with anyone else who might find this helpful, and thank you for watching.